Hey, what's good? It's Pierre, licensed therapist. This is part 1 of chapter 17 of the Somatic Series, where I'm specifically focusing on what it means to regulate your emotions and your autonomic nervous system. I'm talking about the different ways that somebody takes notice of and goes about influencing their emotions and their actions. So at this point in the series, you can ideally start to use your growing understanding of your own autonomic nervous system to notice how your body is responding to the people and things in your environment. Notice any triggers, notice any sensory stimuli, things like that. And then using that information, right, that somatic bodily information to make an informed decision about the things that you need to do to guide your body out of the survival stress response that it's currently experiencing right now. Now, self-regulation is not gaslighting your body, and it's not forcing your body to feel something that you just don't feel. So you can't just be like, be regulated, stop being anxious, stop being angry. No, you feel how you feel. This is more recognizing what's going on and doing things to help you self-soothe or process it, work through it, finding something meaningful to help you move through those emotions. Now, in the long run, learning how to self-regulate is essential to making those long-term changes that you've been trying to make. This is because, like I've said before, the autonomic nervous system is the root of your emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. So ideally, children would learn self-regulation from watching the adults in their lives intentionally practice regulating their own emotions, as well as being directly, specifically taught how to navigate the emotions that they are experiencing for the very first time in their lives. Unfortunately, many of us were raised by parents that did not know how to effectively regulate themselves. If adults are constantly dysregulated with their bodies under stress, and or if they don't have any desire to change, maybe how they've been acting works for them. It might not work for you, but it works for them, so they don't want to change, right? If those things are happening, then they're going to be less likely to model more helpful ways of practicing self-regulation, and they're going to be less likely to directly, intentionally teach more effective, helpful ways of practicing self-regulation to their children. And if children are constantly living in survival mode, then they are routinely disconnected from themselves, their bodies, and from their environments. And all of this can make understanding and learning how to manage their own emotions and behaviors so much harder. So much harder than it needs to be. And those children become adults who struggle managing their emotions, who struggle with stress, who struggle with resting, who struggle with experiencing and savoring joy and pleasure without feeling like the shoe is going to drop at any moment, who struggle with making major decisions, who struggle with building and maintaining community relationships. Somatic work gives the opportunity to change coping skills that just aren't working for you anymore. Speaking of which, the next part will cover the difference between self-regulation and self-care. I see a lot of confusion with that. If you are a licensed therapist and you're interested in learning how to incorporate somatic practices into your work, I offer clinical supervision and consultation appointments. All consultation supervision fees go directly into my pro bono practice. Speaking of my pro bono private practice, if this video chapter was interesting or helpful to you, please consider joining my $3 Patreon, or consider sponsoring someone for my donation-based pro bono private practice where I provide free therapy to low-income Black people.